June 8th, welcome home. There's one thing that could describe Sunset right now. Jittery would be that word. Right now, the girl was practically vibrating enough to send off the San Andreas fault, and more importantly, was acting like a long-lost twin of Twinkie Pie. Sonny! Octavia snarled in a mock angry tone. Calm down, would you? I can't help it, the flame-haired girl replied. I'm just, nervous. Not as though you've never had to wait for someone to come back before. Sunset rolled her eyes. That's because I never had to wait for someone to come back before, remember? Embarrassed by her comment, Octavia turned away. Evening, however, stepped in. Patting Sunset on her shoulder, he said, Yeah, it never gets any easier than this, believe me. I remember a few times when my brothers and I would wait for Dad to come back for various business trips he went on. And between the first time and 100th time, it sticks with you. Even when you're perpetually at the airport like Ballard and I are, there's still something about waiting for your loved ones that never gets easier. But you know what? He asked, turning around to look her in the eyes and give her a comforting smile. It's not any easier than being on that plane, waiting to come back to you. Really? A light of hope flashed in Sunset's cyan eyes. Sonny! What happened next was the kind of thing you usually see in romantic comedies of mine. A teenager, her long, plum-hued hair trailing past her, as she ran with gleeful abandon. And something had changed. As the trio clattered to the ground, both Sunset and Octavia felt themselves squeeze tighter to the jubilant music of Twilight's hyper-excited squeals. I missed you two so much! Twilight cooed. Fairies passed her by in the airport, looking up at the trio, wondering what was going on. Even as Twilight unabashedly continued to embrace both Sunset and Octavia, while the three remained splat on the terminal's floor. Sunset didn't know how to describe any of it, but everything she'd been through until now made this moment perfect. Seeing Twilight's clear, bright eyes once more, the smile on her face genuine, and her personality back to normal, it made all her fears and troubles, willingness to sacrifice, everything for the girl she considered her sister to be worth every bit. Giving Twilight a wide smile, Sunset embraced Twilight back and said in a genuinely joyful tone, Welcome home, sis. Well, that's it. I don't think we need to do any more. Let's move on. Time to go. Oh, no. We still got lots more. I'm sorry. It's just that this was too heartwarming to continue. Twilight, would you mind letting them out? A voice caught in the middle of a laugh said. Sunset looked up to see Velvet standing there, immersing her eyes. I give you a little hug, Sonny, the matriarch said warmly, but you're a bit tied up. At that note, Twilight let go of Sunset and the latter responded immediately, hugging the remaining of her returning family, Spike included, though, of course, he complained about it. Oh, you have no idea how much I missed you guys, she says she hugged Velvet and Night in return. Sonny, you act like you haven't seen us in forever, Night said, embracing his foster daughter. We've only been gone a week. Trust me, it really feels more like 2, Sunset replied. But it's good to have you all home. Say, where's Shiny and Katie? They're spending an extra week so he can meet the rest of the extended family, Velvet explained. Besides, the way Harmonia could probably spend a week talking Katie into nixing my suggestions, the matriarch grumbled. There. I don't think Katie would do that, he told her, patting her lovely on the shoulder. Well, I don't want to stay here forever, so let's get our bags and go home, until we can go to a restaurant to get somewhere and eat. Eating looked at his brother, emptying interest in his eyes. So what? Buca? Maggiano's? It was Spike that answered. Anywhere but Italian. I'm totally pizzaed out. No such thing. Hours later, they were at the Chinese room in the downtown Karen lot, with conversation in full swing. Sunset excitedly listened to her family and their adventures in Italy. It was already feeling so much doubt that she had gone. But it paled in comparison to seeing her family sitting right at the table from her. Something she cherished more than anything right now. And right now, Velvet was regaling everyone of a tale of woe. And so there Shiny was, trying to remember what little Italian Katie had taught him, and neither she nor Ammonia were around at the moment. So he decides at that point to start speaking in Spanish. Never mind the fact that the museum terror guy spoke English. Everyone at the table started laughing. Into sunset, it was the sweetest sound he ever heard. And the moment our tour guide spoke English, you should have seen the look on his face. Especially since at that moment, Katie came back. Sunset's phone suddenly chirped as a text came in. Without looking, she knew who it was. Yes, she's back, Sunset texted Kiki. Less than a second later, the response came in. Can I say hi? She's not answering my texts. She didn't her phone, Sunset replied back. Back home to Charles. To pass her phone so I can say hi. Pinky, later, okay? Sunset typed, fingers moving a little faster due to her irritation. Pinky was one of her closest friends. But seriously, was it so wrong she wanted to spend time with her family? Oh, okay. The response came back a second later. I'll be right there then. Sunset wondered for a split second what Pinky meant, until she heard a voice behind her. Hi, guys! Sunset turned around to see Pinky standing there, a huge smile on her face. Sunset tried hard not to facepalm. You did not just... Uh-huh, she said, waving her aunt and uncle. Got a pumpkin on our friend's place, so we thought we'd go out for dinner tonight. Pinky then whispered half-haley, saying, Shh, secretly, May's babysitting, but the twins don't need to know that. She then returned to her normal chirping voice and proceeded to bear hug Twilight from behind. Hi, miss me. I can't if I'm not breathing. Twilight caught off guard from having been surprised from behind and gasped. Oh, sorry. Hi, Daddy. Another quick hug followed. Hi, Mr. Light. Hi, Mrs. Ballard. Hi, Mr. Sonic. Hi, Mrs. Ballard. And, oh, yeah. Hi, Spike, too.
Hello, Pinky.
Knight responded. They looked at Cup and Carrot. Hello, Cup. Carrot. Care to join us? We just got here ourselves. We won't want to be a bot. Cup began, but immediately stopped as evening signaled for a waiter to connect another table for the new arrivals. As the waiter scrambled to meet the need, Cup smiled. In that case, thank you all. We'd love to. I understand you just came back from Italy. Velvet nodded. In fact, we were just discussing that. I think you would love the place if you ever got the chance to go there. I think in particular you would have loved some of the recipes we came across, Cup. Really? While the adults focused on their part of the conversation, Twilight scooted over a bit so Pinky could sit next to her. So, how was Italy? She asked. Twilight stood quiet down, and the three teens in and around her leaned in. Look, Twilight, you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. Octavia said, placing a gentle hand on her cousin's own. I'm fine, she replied. It's just... Yes? Pinky asked. Well, it just was... Twilight looked as though she struggled with the words to describe her. It was nice. Nice? That's all you're going to say? Octavia cried. Tavi, let her finish. Sunset replied, then returned to Twilight and said, Take all the time you need, Twilight. We're listening. A soft smile came over the plum-haired girl's face as she said, Thanks, Sonny. She closed her eyes and focused, and began. I spent most of it asleep, to be honest. Katie and I did some shopping, and we got to see some sights and museums. Also got to see Shiny Phil trying to speak to the locals, and the food was great. Though I am a little Italianed out right now.
No such thing.
Well, I think you're at the right place to have that problem solved. The waiter as he passes out the menus. Hours later, in a great dinner and great conversation afterwards, they returned home. Everyone went to bed early, since they had to get adjusted to the massive shift in time zones. And after hugging each of them goodnight, Spike included, Sunset stayed up just long enough to do her homework. And then clambered on the bed herself. It felt great to be back in her own room, though. She never had to go over our uncle's tomorrow to get her stuff from the spare room. But now, 20 hours after she had gone to bed, she felt the loneliness creep in. I'm by myself for 20, all because I haven't seen my family in 1 or 2, maybe, weeks. I went through hell for them, and I do it all again. She raised her hand in the air, looking at it from a distance of an arm's length. I'm comfortable now. I'm comfortable both as a pony and as a human, though I'll probably spend the rest of my days as the latter. But now they were back and Twilight was okay, she had to tell them the truth. She loved them and they were her family, so they would understand, right? Yeah, understand that even now, I'm still lying to them and that I'm not even human. Hell, that if some cartoons like Family Guy are correct, I'm the family pet. I'll have to tell them, she decided. Even if they hate me and never want to see me again, I'll have to tell them. I love them and I owe them that much. Although, if I never see them again. Her eyes began to sting with the precursor of tears at the thought. It was all interrupted, however, by a knock on the door. Instantly, Sunset's heart soared. She didn't even have to ask who it was. She didn't even have to tell Twilight to open it. Sure enough, Twilight stood there at the door. I thought you could use some company, she said with a smile. In response, Sunset just scooted over, patted the empty spot on the bed. Twilight immediately crawled in, snuggling next to Sunset. You know, I thought about you a lot while we were gone, it said to the flame-haired girl. Really? Thought you were asleep. Twilight turned and looked at the ceiling. Most of it, yeah. I was so afraid of that thing coming to get me in my dreams. But then the first night I closed my eyes and was about to be attacked again. Then you showed up in my dreams. I did. Twilight's smile was wide as he nodded. You shouted the thing, "You're not going to touch my sister ever again." And then you pulled out an orange lightsaber. An orange lightsaber? I thought there were only red, green, and blue ones.
Somebody never watched the prequels.
Hey, Dream, remember? And besides, orange lightsabers designate protection, if I remember right. Anyway, you fought the thing to a standstill in my dream. Then you went over to me, hugged me, and promised me you would always protect me. Twilight closed her eyes in peace as she added, then every time I went to sleep after that, I had the same dream. It will always end the same until last night. Last night? Sunset asked, curious. That had been when she laid the final spell pattern, and instead of taking an hour, Nimble Nebula's Nonpareil Nightmare Nullifier had only taken a split second to cast. And you won't need charge gems either. Yeah. Last night, instead of pulling out your lightsaber, you just pointed your hands at the thing and... I know this is gonna sound funny, but you threw a Hadouken and lit the thing on fire until it burned away to nothing. And then you... Twice suddenly blushed. I what? You kissed me on the forehead and said it was the duty of older sisters to look out for the younger. That I needed to sleep it off. And then when I woke up, I felt, well, refreshed. Does that make any sense? Sunset gave Twilight a long, understanding smile before saying, Twilight, you never make any sense. Gee, thanks. Yeah. A second later, Sunset spoke again. Twilight? Yes? You'll lose her if you tell her the truth. Sunset's conscience spoke. Sunset was absolutely sure that wasn't going to be the case, right? She and Twilight were sisters. A pair. A part of this family, right? Till she finds out you're no different in shape than the unicorn plushie you gave her. Never mind. Sunset replied. Instead, the flame-haired girl bent over and gave Twilight a kiss on the forehead. Now, go do what I said and get some sleep, okay? Hey, I'm fine. Besides, that was just the dream you, not the real you. Well, the real me saying it now, okay? Twilight smiled. Okay, if you insist. Then got a very audible. Night. We're cuddling up closer to Sunset and falling asleep. Oh! Ow, my heart! Sunset reached over and pulled Twilight closer to her. Twilight, who was 16 years old and still acted like she was 8, with sleepovers and doing innocent things that seemed borderline incestuous to anyone else. Twilight, who was honest and sincere with how she felt and acted, treated Sunset with nothing less than love and friendship since the first day. Twilight, who acknowledged Sunset as a sister before Sunset herself had come to the realization. Twilight, when Sunset had gone back to her birth world to defend, would do so again, even if Celestia had genuinely wanted to kill her. Thankfully, that was not the case. But even if it meant Sunset would have to face the wrath of an enraged goddess, no hesitation, even if it meant sacrificing herself. After all, that had been the situation he had known once he had dared to enter Count Fellini's mirror back to her world of origin, as he wouldn't pause at doing it again if needed. Sunset reached over and pulled Twilight closer and whispered, I love you, sis. Then, comfortable, both sisters fell asleep. The following day, Sunset and Rainbow were at summer school, chatting as they waited for the next class to start.
So, how's Twilight?
Rainbow asked. She's doing okay. Sunset checked with a beaming smile. She's back to normal and she'll be at the barbecue we're having over at Flutter's. She brought us all a bunch of stuff from Italy. Wouldn't even let me have mine until then, because she wanted to be a surprise.
Really?
A curious look came over Rainbow's face.
Now I have to wonder what she got us. Maybe she got us jerseys from ACF Orienta. They're the main soccer team over there.
Sunset rolled her eyes. You have soccer on the brain, Rainbow.
Hey, you mean? I am the best soccer player that ever lived, you know.
I thought that was Pele.
He was okay, but he didn't have my style.
Rainbow, I'm from another world where nobody knows what soccer is. Given that I know about him, maybe that's an indicator that you might be a little out of your league on this?
Yeah, I got this,
Rainbow said coolly. Sunset couldn't help but laugh at that. Ergo uba allies. That was Rainbow, for sure. Funny that her otherworldly equivalent was just as bad. But then again, Sunset knew that her Rainbow would probably not have a single clue about what a cloud ball was. Yeah, whatever. So what's your next class?
Rainbow groaned. Ugh. World history with Mr. Kibitz. You?
Algebra 2 with his kid. Though there was no family resemblance, everyone knew that Mrs. Raven, the algebra and calculus teacher, was the daughter of Mr. Kibitz. Mrs. Raven had decided in Equestria County once she got her degree in education, and had the luck of the draw working at the same school where her father was still a teacher, where she'd once been a student herself. Sonny, thank God I found you! Lyra shouted as she rushed up, running like crazy. I totally forgot my... Can I copy yours? Sunset blinked. Lyra, for one, class starts in 10 minutes. Second, you forgot your homework? You never forget your homework.
Yeah, you may not get all the questions wrong, but you never forget your homework.
Rainbow laughed while withstanding a glare from the teenage musician. Seriously, Lyra, Rainbow's right, Sunset asked. So what really happened? Lyra blushed. Would it be wrong to say that Bonnie's with me because my parents were in town? Both girls looked at the Celeste and ivory-haired girl with eye wide. She grinned. She might have been mad at first, Sonny, but now we can't thank you enough for all that sweetie drop business. Lyra, you moaned like the Haunted Mansion down in Disneyland? Lyra said softly, her blood coming to the fore again.
I didn't need to hear that, Rainbow said. I gotta go to class!
Lyra looked at Sunset. Please. Wait, didn't Bonnie break her hand? I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, I gotta see that lemon.
Ow!
Honestly, he's never going to learn, people. Have you paid attention with these jokes? He's never going to learn. He needs ratification.
Sunset rolled her eyes. I don't want to know. She said, racing for her homework. You've got 5 minutes. Two women with shuffle-on hair sat at a breakfast table, idly chatting and almost looking like a literal portrayal of someone talking to them. Third member of their family decided he was sleeping in that morning, so his bowl of tricks sat untouched, awaiting the young child's eventual presentation. So, your barbecue's tonight? Posey asked. Fluttershy nodded. Rainbow said she'll be over right after summer school to help me get ready for it. Though... Posey recognized the pause in her daughter's words. Though, she asked, Do you think that the grill will hurt the birds and the squirrels? The teen asked, nervously looking out the kitchen window to the backyard of the house. A copse of dawn redwood saplings set by the perimeter fence. Beyond that were a variety of other trees, all of which were host to native fauna. Get in. A smile came onto Posey's face. Dear, we have a gas grill. So? Gas grills don't smoke as much as charcoal ones do. I mean, they still do, don't get me wrong, but they're not as, smoky. Oh, I didn't know about gas grills. Yes, it was something I picked up from your father. As the words tumbled out of her mouth, Posey's mind filled with nostalgia. She had been scarcely older when she had met the man she had fallen in love with, and given her two younger, wonderful children to cherish. And even though it was years that he played a regular role in their lives, the bittersweet memories at least ranged a far more sweet side than bitter. Meanwhile, Fireside went over a list.
Let's see. I still need to make another run to the store to get enough stuff. I wonder if I should wait until rainbow arrives. Or,
She looked at her mother.
did you want me to make that pasta salad you like?
Just I would love it. I'm probably going to have to work late that night due to the complications with Mrs. Mick's case. Just save me something and I'll eat as soon as I get home. Also, did you want me to call Mrs. Spice and see if Angel could stay over there? Fireside smiled.
We have it covered, Mom. Twilight and Sunny are bringing their younger brother with them. I'm sure Angel and Spike will get along. If not, then we'll just put them in front of a video game system and that should keep them busy.
Oh, that is absolutely not true. I mean, you did not put me in front of a video game system when I'm distracted.
That's good, dear. Though I hope you keep them away from violent content. I hate to make a bad expression on your friends. It's okay, Mom. Everything will be fine,
Fireside insisted.
It's mostly just gonna be me and the girls welcoming Twilight back from her vacation in Italy. Besides, Slicey said you're used to comfort her for everything that's happened to her.
I recall that. Is she okay? Posey asked.
I don't know. She only got back yesterday. I think Pinky's talked to her since, but it sounds like Twilight's not being very talkative about it.
Sounds like another young woman I know, the matron said harshly. First I looked at Posey. The latter sighed and nodded. You know what I'm talking about, sweetie. The look on the teen's face went from confused to reluctant.
This is something I need to figure out for myself, Mother,
she insisted. Dear, it wasn't all that long ago you were telling me regularly about the bully who harassed you and your friends. That all she really needed in the end was someone to care about her. And now, Sunset's one of your closest friends, right? Fluttershy. Posey continued. That's what friends are for. They'll always help you when you needed it. The others were there when you were being bullied by Sunset, and you were all there this past year for Sunset. Guarantee your friends will be there for you if you talk to them about your issues with your father. The look on Fluttershy's face was one of hesitation.
Mom,
Trust me on this. Older and wiser, you know. It's not like I haven't been through your issue before. Did I ever tell you about how my friends were when I met your father?
No, I don't think so.
In fact, this was true. Well, Posey had pretty much just covered about every detail regarding her premarital years with Fluttershy's father. How Posey's friends reacted was a new wrinkle in the tapestry. Well, you know how your grandparents reacted. Your grandfather wanted to kill him, while your grandmother was afraid I was going off and ditch medical school. Thankfully, cooler heads in the forms of my friends intervened. Redheart was always there for me, while Majesty and Brightstar insisted that if he was really what I wanted, what my heart cried out for, then it was my responsibility to choose it and make it work. All that led to you and Angel, and I wouldn't change a thing in the world. She said as he embraced Fluttershy. You two are my life, and I love you both.
Thanks, Mom.
A thoughtful look crossed Fireshide's features.
Do you think I should tell my friends?
Without a doubt. Posey replied, nodding. You two have wonderful friends, and far better ties to them than I did to mine when I was your age. Truthfully, I'm a little envious of your tight-knit group. They'll hate me for it. No, they won't. And if for some reason they do, they don't deserve to be your friends. Fluttershy closed her eyes as if in thought, as if considering all the ramifications.
Okay,
she finally said.
I really don't feel comfortable about it, but that's what you think for best.
Trust me, sweetie. Your friends will help you through this. It's just like your father once said. Friends who are sailed with you through hail and end up in jail with Fluttershy like Clark.
I did not need that image.
As Posey just giggled in response, Fluttershy gave her mother an annoyed stare, though she just sighed and picked up the dishes from the breakfast table.
You know, that was probably the quietest conversation you ever did on this show.
I know, I don't even think it registered on the Audacity. I don't think even Yeti heard it. Oh, not really. Barely heard a single thing. Are you sure about this? Flora asked as she looked at Coco. Stacy was convinced was an understatement. Coco, even though a teenager, was still somewhat a naive girl. Flora always felt it was her business to look out for her boyfriend's sister. As she and Fancy had been an item since junior high, she very much watched Coco grow up, and in many ways felt that Coco was the younger sister she never had, seeing as Flora was an only child.
I'm fine, but thanks for worrying about me, Fleur,
Coco replied, a huge smile on her face.
It's the least I can do, Coco. I was just I'm meeting some friends here for brunch myself, and since you needed a ride, Yes, and I heard Fancy beg you to take me,
the younger girl replied with a tease. Fleur gave an glance at Coco.
You're just too late to apprenticeship for your age, you know that.
As the pair approached the Major D, Crackle waved to her. She was a slightly older girl with her lavender hair done up in a stylish manner. Both had smiles on their faces. Based on that, Coco figured that the other girl was Crackle's half-sister, Suri Polymere.
Well, that's my table over there,
Coco said to both the host and Fleur.
That should be fine.
Okay, if you're sure. The tone of Fleur's voice was uncertainty, but Coco merely thought it to be the older girl's little big sis instincts kicking in again.
You'll be fine. Crackle's my best friend, and I don't want her to steer me wrong. Besides, it's not like she's going to hurt me.
With that, Coco waved farewell to Fleur, walking towards the table with two other girls.
That's what I'm afraid of, Coco.
Fleur thought to herself as the Major D led the tea table. Now was not the time to face down Suri, even though Fleur had verbally tussled with her over various issues prior. Instead, now was the time to make her own stand. Now she was doing the right thing for her legacy in Zachary. She would face Suri much later. After a few seconds, the host led Fleur to a small table by the window, where Champagne sat. She was sipping from a glass of sparkling water and admiring the outdoor garden as the view forward. As Fleur sat, Champagne looked at her and smiled.
Well, running a little late, Fleur.
Fleur groaned, seemingly out of character reaction for the refined girl. But Champagne was her best friend, and one of the few people she had no problem laying her hair down.
Suri Polymere is up to something, Sammy, and she has Coco in thought somehow.
Coco? Oh, I don't know if she even bother with someone with the legs of Suri. Seriously, I've never met a bit any crazier than Suri Polymere. The girls are I'm fucking a senator's son, so that's the next step before world domination. Like Fleur, Champagne was more than happy to be less guarded around her best friend. A castle onlooker would be surprised to see that the uncouth ladies that just happened to look like recently graduated, chaste, and proper divas of Zachary Academy.
Well, what if your plan is, I think we'll have someone to put her and her clique in their place,
Fleur said, grinning as she picked up the menu.
But are you sure we can do that?
I don't see why not. After all, the position of school diva is hardly conventional. It's not a part of the student council, and yet at the same time, it holds just as much authority. Basically, it was a way of neutralizing the concept of the school queen bee and harnessing for good. As the things we got away with as divas, we couldn't do that at the schools, because the equivalent concept was a radically different beast. Fleur got out with an impressive whistle.
Well, you were always the smarter one of us.
Champagne rolled her eyes. That's the girl who had just as high grades as me. Anyway, I did some of the saying and found that you didn't always have to go to a senior. The position could go to whoever the outgoing divas find qualified to be replacements, so long as the school agrees.
If we chose anyone other than seniors, nothing will hold any regrets,
Fleur pointed out.
Nope. History is a non-side. Back in 1965, in order to show support for school desegregation, the two divas at the time, Summer Sunshine and Placid Night, made two incoming black girls the school divas. They hit it hard, according to the reports, but in the end, Honey Lemonade and Blazing Comet made some of the most beloved and respectful divas in the history of the school. Wait, Mrs. La?
Fleur looked at her friend with surprise. The school principal was chubby, squat, and reminded the teen model of her grandmother, the diva.
Yes, in fact, I happened to run into her yesterday at the mall
I thought it might planet the nice idea.
Then, honestly, I can't think of anyone better than for the job.
I certainly want someone like Sally Polymer or Knox to be the diva. Then it's settled. Sorry, Champagne Sour again. Now we just have to talk to Twilight and Octavia and see if they'll accept.
Thanks for joining us,
Suri said cheerfully to Coco as he walked up to the table.
Crackle was just telling me about her wonderful friend, and I felt extremely bad for not meeting you before. So please, accept my apologies. Oh no, thank you for inviting me,
Coco replied as she sat down.
Crackle has told me time and time again about her big sister. I feel bad about myself we never met. Anyway, I'm Coco Pamel. And I am Suri Pamel. Pleasure to meet you.
Suri's voice was cunningly sweet, charming, and clearly refined. Coco smiled. If she was anything like Crackle, she would be a wonderful friend and a person to rely on. Ooh, this story is laying it on thick!
So sis says that you don't have anyone chosen as a senior sister for freshman week yet. Coco said, No, nobody's approached me. That means either I'll be left in the general pool, or nobody will want me at all.
For Coco, having both Flora and her own mother attend Zachary, she heard about the stories of freshman week. She wasn't sure what was worse, being selected from the general pool or being outright forgotten. In the former case, it meant that any senior would pick you, and generally all the nastiest pranks done to freshmen were a result of that. In the later case, being left out entirely was practically a social death sentence, was according to her mother, meant that you were pretty much a pariah for the rest of your freshman year, and had to do something pretty outstanding to redeem yourself in your sophomore year.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we, sis?
Crackle asked Suri, giving her sister Bambi eyes. That was Crackle, somehow a complete admiration of her sister and looking up for Coco at the same time.
No, I would have to admit it would be unfair to both of you. After all, I'm hoping to be announced as one of the school divas on the first day of class, and I have hopes that you two will become divas once you reach your senior. But I can't help it if Coco's left down in the pits, Sally say.
A thoughtful look crossed her older girl.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you under my wing for senior week. But, Coco asked curious, but you'll have to start working for me, starting tomorrow. The reason for that is, well, because let's be honest, the sooner we establish you with me, the sooner no other seniors will pick on you. It'll definitely ensure you won't end up in the general pool or ignored. While I might have to do you some arduous things, Suri pointed out, I can assure you I won't ask you to do anything I wouldn't ask Crackle. What about me? Crackle asked. I my friends and ask them to do the same for you, Suri replied. But make sure you're taking care of little sister. Who wouldn't want you to end up in the wrong hands? Suri punctuated the last with a wink. A Crackle practically swooned from her older sister's attention. So, we're good? No, we're definitely not good, Suri replied. It's much better than that.
Oh, come on, Trix, let me have that lightning bolt.
No! You're mean. No, I'm your boss. There's a difference. And to you, too. Hi, thanks for coming,
Fireside said to Sunset, Twilight, and Octavia and Spike. As they stood at the door, Twilight carried something in her hands that looked like potato salad, while Sunset carried a much larger bag. Thanks for having us, Flutters, Sunset said to her friend.
No, the pleasure's all mine,
Blonde-haired girl replied.
You didn't have to bring anything, Twilight. This is your party after all.
I didn't. It's Sunny who made it, the plum-haired teen replied. She insisted that, Sunset for her part blushed. I just didn't want you to get stuck in with all the cooking, Fluttershy.
I appreciate the sentiment, but Rainbow's in charge of the grilling right now, and Pinky and AJ came over to help me make the side dishes,
Fluttershy replied.
Rarity should be here in a couple of minutes with all the drinks.
Well, in the meanwhile, Sunny and I can help you all you need. We'll just make a deposit spike somewhere, and ensure Twilight keeps out of the kitchen before something blows up, Octavia said with a grin.
Tavi!
Twilight snarled, followed by quick laughter from Octavia and Sunset. Fluttershy, for her part, giggled briefly while giving Twilight a sympathetic look, then turned to Spike.
If you follow me, I'll lead you to the den where Angel's got the game set up. Just please remember, he's hearing impaired, so make sure you write anything down if you want to talk to him, okay?
She reached into her pocket and handed the boy a small pad and pen. Be on your best behavior, Squirt, Sunset warned. If we find out that you and Angel were fighting... Hey, I'll just kick his ass! He paused when he realized he was standing in front of him.
You'll be alright, I'm sure,
Fluttershy said in Spike's defense.
Kitchen's right over there, and I'll be right back.
With that, she beckoned Spike to follow, while the 3 other girls walked over to the kitchen. As they walked in, they found Adamsek and Pinkie hard at work.
Ah!
Pinkie cried out the moment she saw her friends.
I'm making a rainbow velvet cake for tonight. It's like a red velvet cake, but has all the colors of the rainbow in it. Something that Uncle Carrot came up with, and I'm giving it a shot.
Sounds good, Octavia replied. Hey, H.I. Hey, yourself. As for me, I'm making the special apple family cornbread recipe. Y'all gonna love it. Sunset tried not to laugh at that. The night she and the pony person of Applejack were tossing the Black Monster cider back at the Apple family farm, she tried to force cornbread off of her during that time as well, giving the pretty much the same answer. There had been a treasured family apple recipe dating back to her great-grandfather, Cortland Apple or something like that. Let me guess, Sunset said. Old family recipe? Yeah, my great-great-grandpa Cortland Apple made it when he set 3 apple acres back in Heavener. Apple said with a tone of seriousness. I know Paul misses that place terrible. Maybe not much so much as he was from here recently. But at least Uncle Strayman was able to take her over instead. She looked at her head and smiled. You know, maybe I'll have my cousin Brayburn come over one day. I'll hear he's single, and one of you gals says my case is out. Thanks, but no, Octavia replied. After what happened earlier this year, I'm definitely staying clear of the date for the time being. Elsie said nothing. Twilight nodded furiously. Sunset's face remained expressionless.
Piggy tisted Applejack and said, Hey, I understand that. Anyway, Twilight, you're to start texting here. Go ahead and go and sit and we'll tell you later, okay?
You sure you don't need a hand with anything? Octavia asked.
Well, I'm fine, but I'm sure Fluttershy could use a hand with something, right?
The cheerleader said to the musician as far as I entered the kitchen.
Actually, if you don't mind, Taffy, I probably could use the assist,
Fluttershy asked.
I still have to make the baked beans and some other stuff, but if you don't mind...
No, I'm not the best in the kitchen, but I don't mind at all, Octavia said, going over to Karen to wash her hands. Meanwhile, both Twilight and Sunset walked outside, where Rainbow was fiddling around with a spatula.
Look at shit up!
She said with a grin, briefly waving at the new newcomers.
Burns of flesh, breaking it nice and juicy.
Hate to break it to you, Chef Char-Grilled, Sunset replied with a snicker, but I don't see anything on the grill there.
That's because I'm smoking the wood, Rainbow said in a fox authoritative tone. Anyone who's anyone knows that a good smoke is vital to any successful grilling operation.
Twilight giggled. Been watching the Food Network? Rainbow? Hey, nothing wrong with watching that. Guy Fieri is awesome. And I also love Man vs. Food. The rainbow-haired teen shrugged.
Hey, there was nothing good on Cartoon Network or ESPN. The hub was showing that Care Bears crap. And who in their right mind watches MTV?
Well, I'll have you know, I think there are much better things to be done with one's time than television, a voice said. The three turned back to the door and saw Rarity standing there, grocery bags in hand. Setting the bags down on the table, she went over to hug Twilight. Good to see you back, dear. You know we all missed you. Thanks, Twilight blessed. Well, you have a chance. I'd love to hear how Italy was. I'm positively envious of your travel, Rarity told her. The only place I've been to is my grandpa's place in Rhode Island. I'd love to travel someday. I think you'll like Florence, Twilight replied. Well, maybe that or Milan. Both are big fashion meccas, I'm told. Sounds nice, Rarity said. And I'm glad at least one of my fellows, unlike some ruffians I know, she added teasingly to Rainbow.
What was that, Rares? You wanted the extra raw?
Well,
At least the way I know it was spared from the mess you refer to as cooking. Girls, now don't fight.
Fireside says he carried the chicken and burgers out. She looked as though she felt uncomfortable doing so.
I know you're just joking around, but this night's for Twilight, and we should enjoy his company, nay?
Rainbow blinked once. Oh, you did not just... Fireside smiled sweetly.
Rainbow will do Sunika.
Rainbow blinked once, twice, then groaned. I hate it when you do that.
So, are you free for dinner tonight?
Sable's voice sounded over the speaker of the cell phone.
Well, I was planning on staying home and do paperwork,
Celestia's replied, which was admittedly the extent of her itinerary for that evening.
Why? Did you have something in mind?
Well, I just happen to have to create some paperwork myself,
Sable replied.
And I just happened to find the best pizza in the universe, just off the corner of Reading Drive and Shasta View Avenue.
Celestia smiled. She knew a bribe when she heard it. Fortunately, said bribe also came with a punitive twist.
Best pizza in the world. You do remember I'm originally from Italy, right?
Sasumi. It beats the Pizza Hut on Fort Benning.
She could practically hear the laughter in his voice.
So, anyway, we on or what? What would you like?
Celestia had thought about the lunch she had with him, and then the dinner she had with him over at Sombra's place a few days back. Sable was definitely nice to be around, and Jilly didn't care about her age. Not that she really showed it. For some reason, she felt like there could be something more to this. Granted, when she was about his age, she didn't care for the cocky machismo he displayed. He probably would have ended at loggerheads at one point, but age had given her enough of maturity to deal with that kind of attitude, and expertise to ameliorate it. He had enough years to realize she wasn't getting any younger, and he really cute butt.
Sure, whatever. Pizza's kind of fine, she said. I've got beer and wine in my place, so unless you want anything else, I think we're covered for drinks. Ain't sound good?
Sure. See you tonight then.
Bye.
Clicking out the phone, Celestia made a mental note tonight. She had a ton of things to do at home to make sure she had company that wasn't family or friends. Maybe if she worked out for the best, there could be something more.
Oh man, I don't think I could eat another bite,
Sunset said, hours and pounds of food later. 8 girls sat around the picnic table in the backyard, halfway in a food coma. At a smaller table booth, both Angel and Spike were asleep, both victims of post-prandial somnolence.
I'll say this much, Rainbow. You really know how to work your way around a grill.
For the persistence of her face buried her arms on the table, the athlete gingerly raised a thumbs up in the air. Then with some effort managed to sit up, leaning back in the chair. Ugh, I swear I have to run a marathon or two to burn all this off.
You can work out the calories just like I do.
As was expected, Pinky already burned off her calories with the insane metabolism she had. Sorry, Pinks, but cheerleading ain't a real sport.
Oh, it sure is.
It's not. It is! No, Pinky, it's not. It is! Pinky!
Yes, it is, it is, it is!
She turned gloriously before somebody sighed Jack.
We should argue more.
Cotton Candy teen did not see her friend facepalm at the moment. However, she did say,
"If we got food out of the way, when are we eating dessert?" Good idea.
Fireside agreed, standing up.
I'll go get more plates of coloring.
I have a better idea. Twilight says he got from the chair,
while Pinky goes and gets the cake and plates. Why don't I get the gifts that I got for all of you?
Hey, I'll help with the plates, Octavia says. She throws for her a chair. Okay with you, Pinky.
Okay, Tommy!
Pinky's reply, and the 3 teens went into the house. As the trio departed, Rarity was the one to speak.
Sunset, please, don't minimize this. How is he doing, and what can we do to help? I know that neither Octavia or I know not need counseling for the incident back then, but given Twilight's sensitivity, I would imagine that...
Sunset raised her hand to gently silence Rarity.
The parentals and I talked this morning. Twilight's going to go through counseling for the rest of the summer, just to make sure everything will be okay. But as for the spells they seem to be holding, and I need to send a note to Princess Twilight as soon as I can, if only to know what else to look for.
Sunset gave her friends a sober look. I failed her once. I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah, you did.
Rarity's words are slowly drowned out by Octavia's sound of, no fucking why!
What's going on?
Rainbow asked. Don't know, but Sick replied. That was solved a second later by Octavia walking out with a FedEx envelope and a grin on her face.
Girls, take this out!
Octavia said, while Fluttershy frantically tried to grab the letter from her Mrs. face.
Looks like Fluttershy got a letter from her dad. But I don't get it. I thought we were all opens.
You fans of Miami Connection probably got a giggle out of that. The rest of you? You're looking at me confused.
Can I have that back, please?
Fluttershy said, looking really anxious. She kept grabbing, only to have Octavia pull it away from her.
Taffy, please!
The look in Fluttershy's face was getting angry. Rainbow looked at annoyed.
Hey, not cool, Taffy. Give her the thing, okay? Not until you hear the secret Flutters has been keeping from us.
Rarity's eyes brightened.
Secret? Fluttershy, darling, have you been holding out on me?
The Fastinees batted her eyes and pouted, hoping for a reaction.
Rarity, is that... well... It's,
Sunset immediately noticed Fluttershy both acting like her pony counterpart, but her kind of anger she'd never seen in her friend before. Taffy, give her the letter, okay? Sunset insisted.
No, you can't hear this.
At this point, Octavia held Fluttershy at arm's length and read the letter. My dearest Fluttershy, I know I've been a horrible father, and there's nothing I can do about it. I miss having you here in my life. I spoke to your mother while she doesn't need to cooperate your brother traveling. I decided I'm going to come by on July 12th. While I'm there, I want you to come so I can speak to you to tell you I've done wrong. I'd rather be able to do such service. Feel free to try to bring something, including friends, with one's word. I will restart my band. Sincerely, love always, Dad. The area went quiet. Fluttershy, Octavia handled the letter. Her back to Fluttershy. Silence punctuated Sarah, but as Fluttershy slapped Octavia.
Flutters, what the hell? How could you?
Tears began to stream from Fluttershy's blue eyes.
I thought you were my friend, Taffy. I am, but what the fuck?
As when Twilight came out with the gift, seeing everyone stunned, Octavia rubbing her cheek, and Fluttershy looking completely heartbroken.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, only Taffy fucked up royally, Applejack replied. What on earth were you thinking, Taffy? Octavia looked as though she was suddenly confused. I wasn't, Rainbow snarled. No fucking shit you weren't! Rarity spoke up.
Fluttershy, idea. I understand you never had a good relationship with your father, but if he's trying to make amends, wouldn't it be best if you tried?
Tears almost streamed down her face. Fluttershy shook her head.
You don't understand what he did to me. What he did to Angel. How the hell could I forgive that? What did he do? He abandoned us! He wanted the goddamn rockstar life more than he wanted us! He wanted to beat them all fucking but he discord for anyone else!
The sound was enough to wake up both Angel and Spike. A pause, too. Rainbow's voice suddenly broke to silence.
Wait, did you say your dad's Discord as in the most fucking awesome rocker there is? No! Fluttershy said. I say he was discolored, a hard, cowardly, pathetic excuse for a father who ran out of his family because they was more important than us!
Fluttershy's fate collapsed under her. She fell to the patio deck crying. Immediately, Angel ran to her side to comfort his big sister, staring angrily at all.
That's funny,
Piggy said, expecting it to be a joke. A few moments went by and it all became obvious it wasn't humor. Piggy's mood and hair seemed to deflate almost instantly. Over to Fluttershy to administer a hug, but Angel, not really knowing what was going on, swatted the teen away angrily.
I think it's best to stay to straighten things out, Rarity said.
I think I better go straighten out Taffy's face, Rainbow said angrily, as she launched herself at a chair. As it first her carried to the deck. You have some explaining to do, she accused, punctuating her statement with punching a fist in her other hand. Hi, Rainbow, that ain't gonna help, Applejack retorted, but turned to Sunset and said, I think y'all better be going, for this gets worse. We'll straighten this out. I'll call you later tonight, Sonny. She then turned her Octavia and said, "Think you're making a way to apologize to Flairside for all this."
But I didn't.
Octavia seemed at a complete loss for words. Lucy had no idea what was going on. Yeah, Sunset agreed without a second, a toneless voice. I'm sorry for what happened. Not your the Bond said in somber tones. But we'll straighten this out.
I hope.